Hello everybody, it's been a while. It's been 3 weeks since I posted. The time is so wonky here. Still in California, and I realized, let me flip this so you can see where I am. So you can see behind me is the lifeguard station and beautiful palm tree, and I'm gonna flip, and here's the beach. It's amazing here. I've been at the beach a lot and just sitting, watching the waves, walking. It's like you can walk north. For all my New England friends, when you look right, when you're at the ocean here, you're looking north, not south. It's taken me a while to get used to that. Looking south. So yeah, it's a gray day here, which has been unusual. It's been sunny mostly. And you know, it's so funny. One of the reasons I haven't posted recently is because I realized, you know how you have these assumptions or you think these things and you don't even know you're thinking it. Somehow I was under the idea that I should post when I go somewhere and do something as far as my, quote, my journey goes. So since I've just been staying here in Southern California, part of me was thinking like, I don't have anything to report. I'm still in Southern California, as if the only thing. Hi Margaret, I love that you're here watching. Hi, how are you back there in Massachusetts? But what I realized is that I was thinking that because I hadn't physically moved anywhere, then that meant I wasn't actually making any progress on my journey, so therefore there wasn't anything to report. And now I realize that that's kind of funny. It's kind of laughable, because so much of this is the inner journey that happens as part of this whole process. And that's been intense, to tell you the truth. I realized I just want to look at, oh, Chris, oh my goodness, Chris, hi. Oh, I'm so psyched that you're here watching. So I was talking about inner journeying versus outer journeying. I haven't gone anywhere. I've been in Southern California for the past, I think it's going on 5 weeks now. I think it's, anyway, 4 or 5 weeks. And since I haven't gone anywhere, haven't traveled anywhere else, I thought I wasn't really making progress, so there was nothing to report. However, the truth is there's been a lot going on the inner journey of what's happening here. And then what comes up for me is I think, well, I have to like feel better before I can post, and then I can leave a video when I'm like past the tough stuff that was up for me. And you know, part of what I want to do as part of this process of sharing these videos is I want to be real. Like, life is not clean, right? And I think a lot of that happens. You know, I've heard people talk about fake book, and I think I talked about this in my last video. And I don't want that. I don't want to show up here like, hey, I'm doing great, you know, because there's been times when it's been rough. You know, when I first got out here that first week, there was times when I was nearly in like panic of like, what have I done? I need to go back. I need to go back. I need to go back. And it was, you know, here I am in this place that I love, that I've vacationed here before and loved it. And so I thought that when I got here, I would love it. But the truth is, when I first got here, I had a really hard time being here because of the reality of what was happening. Like, I'm not vacationing now. I've let go of everything that I knew for my entire life. And I'm in an entirely foreign environment. Like, I've got some friends here, which is awesome. But it's intense. And, you know, there's this whole process that happens that's not really intellectual. It's just the way, you know, I often use the analogy of like, when you eat a meal, your body just knows how to digest it. You don't have to tell your body what to do to digest it, right? I'm just going to look at some comments. Oh my goodness, Chrissy is here. Hi, Chrissy. And Anne. Hey, Anne. Oh my goodness, very long time. Yes, Margaret, absolutely. Sharing the tough stuff. That's why I want to do this. Because, you know, in my work as a healer, right? So often I've sat with people that have carried such painful stuff with them for so long and never had a place where they could really talk about it and process it, right? We kind of are indoctrinated to this concept of like, life is about being happy. Life is about, and if you're not somehow happy or doing well, then you're doing something wrong. It's fucked up. It's crazy, because life is a lot more than that, right? So with my work and with my life and with this journey, I know what it's about is that the gold, you actually find the gold in the hard stuff. I've heard the phrase, like, is it a breakdown or a breakthrough, right? And when you're in the breakdown, if you can, it's really helpful to remember, like, if I can get through this, there's a breakthrough on the other side. And I'm telling you, when I'm in my breakdown places, even now, I mean, how long have I been doing this work? Decades. And even that, when I'm in my breakdown places, when it's rough like that, I don't really have any awareness of, like, oh, this is going to lead to a breakthrough, right? Maybe I have the thought, on a good day, I'll have the thought, like, okay, yeah, I know that there's going to be something good on the other side of this. But when you're in it, man, it's tough. So I just want to look at some comments here. So I guess what I want to talk about as far as the inner journey here, the thing that brought me out west, it's something I've wanted to do for a lot of years, and some of you may know that about me, since the early 90s. When I first came out west, I went to Utah, and there was something about the land out here, and it spoke to me so deeply, and I was always like, why am I going back east? And it was always because everybody I know and love is there, so it made sense. And then, but that call has always been there. Every time I come out here, I'm always like, I love it, I love it, I love it. Not that I don't love New England. I mean, I'm missing actually being in New England right now. September and October are like my favorite months to be in New England. So part of me is like, what am I doing out here? I should be back there, but it just all is what it is. But so the way that I got here was really, ultimately, it was because of the ending of my relationship, 15-year relationship, and the divorce. I say divorce hesitatingly because we weren't officially married, but it was a 15-year partnership, with a lot of love and a lot of life, shared life, and just became clear. There's been struggles all along, but we realized, about over the past year or so, and it wasn't due to COVID, it wasn't due to like being at home together all the time or anything, but we just knew that it was right for us to separate. And here's the hard thing for me to admit, is that I wasn't the one that was able to make that decision, or have those conversations. That it was my former partner that had the strength, had the courage, had the clarity to initiate those conversations and ultimately be the catalyst for that decision. And I wish I were the kind of person, I'm saying this just because I think a lot of people that have come to me for body work, sometimes we tend to think that those we go to for healing might be more together than they really are. But what's that joke that people do what they most need, right? So those of us that are healers often are the ones that are really deeply in need of healing, or deeply embroiled in healing. And, I wish I were the person that in an intimate relationship, when there's someone in your life that you've shared so much with and is so important to you, that I would have the courage to be able to have difficult conversations. But the truth is, I have not been able to do that historically. And that's, I now understand. I can get into self-judgment about that. And that's never helpful. It's more just about noticing it, right? It's so easy to beat ourselves up about stuff, right? But it's more about just really noticing it and honoring my former partner for her strength to be able to do it. Yeah, it's a hard thing. When I was, and so because our relationship was ending, I just was like, okay, now's my chance to move. So that's kind of how this, and then from there came the decision, like, I guess that means I need to close my business. And then, so that, it was just this series of events and all the conversations and the amazing conversations and processes I had with people in that. And so then, and now here I am. And you know, coming out here I was all these years saying like, oh, I want to be out west, I want to be out west. I was never specifically drawn to Southern California, nor do I know that I'm staying here. It's a it's a possibility, because I'm going to turn the camera around again. Check this out, you guys. Like this, going south, I come to this beach sometimes twice a day and just walk and walk and walk as much as I want to, and sit and look at the waves. You know, back east, back in Massachusetts anyway, it's not easy to get to the ocean. It's a big deal. Right here, I just drive down the road, I park along the road, I walk here, and off I go. It's amazing. And you're driving down the road, the main road, here they call roads the such and such. So like back east, we say, you know, like Route 1, right? Here it's the. So you're driving down the 101, which is the main road right along the coast. And there's the ocean. It's just, so anyway, who knows? I may stay here. I don't know yet. I know that I won't stay here and not go anywhere else. I definitely am going to go and explore other places. But the kicker was, when I got here, after all these decades of like, I want to be there, I want to be somewhere out there. Well, when I got here, all I wanted was to be back east, you know, and which makes sense, right? It's a big deal to let go of everything. And of course, part of me was looking for familiarity, but, and then there's just a lot of grieving that I've been doing over my relationship and over my business. Well, the relationship mainly. It's been intense, you know, a lot of grieving and all. And you know, one of the other things, I think I might have started to say this earlier, but when I realized that I was going to be moving and started having conversations with clients, friends, and things, and a lot of what I heard was, oh my God, that's so inspiring. I'm so inspired. And that was fascinating to me. And that's why I'm doing these videos, because people were hearing in what I was doing something that brought something alive in them. As if there was something that they wish they could do that they're not doing, that in seeing me doing something that I've wanted to do for so long, they were like, oh my God, that's inspiring. So, you know, so I just wonder, is there something in your life? Yeah, are you inspired by what I'm doing? And if so, what's the inspiration? What does it bring alive in you? You know, I don't know. We have this one life, right? And we get to live it. And I don't know, it's made up by a series of decisions, right? And so, yeah, so I'm inner journeying right now, outer journeying. I don't have any plans yet to go anywhere. But I will definitely, I'm going to really try to commit to a weekly post here and just sharing whatever is going on in my journey at that time. So that's it for today. Let me see if there's any comments. I need a Babs to talk to. I actually have some, so yeah. Thank you, Margaret, married in all the ways that mattered. And thank you, Anne. Yes, the healing is well on its way. And I think the last thing I was going to say earlier was, as far as the healing goes, Anne, is a lot of this journey for me too has been and continues to be healing from my own personal trauma history. Which I'll talk about more, and I know I've mentioned that, and I know that that's a big part of it, but that's part of what got me out here to Southern California. It's a big part of the story, actually. But it's just, you know, working with healing from a severe trauma history, you really realize like how many of us are walking around with these painful places in us that we haven't had a place to get relief or share, you know, like how much stuff is there in each of us? What do we judge about ourselves, right? Or we just feel like, oh, I can't talk about that, or oh, that, you know, whatever it is. And just the journey for me is about tapping into that stuff and speaking of it and sharing it and being seen and witnessed. And it's such a sacred process. And I wish it for everyone, you know, because so many people are carrying so much pain or so much self-judgment or whatever it is, and it's not necessary. You know, we're all ultimately lovable. We're all ultimately just love and doing our best. So that's, you know, I'm between gigs in terms of my business, but it's going to be similar to what it was. You know, I'm a healer at heart. I'm just not sure what that's going to look like, but it's such an honor for me, like, to be the safe space that someone else, I'm going to feel like I could cry right now, that someone else can be held in, so that they can access themselves and the love of who they are and the true essence of who they are. Because I know what that feels like, to have somebody else hold that space for me. It's freaking amazing. And so I think I will end with that. So I would love to hear from you all if you resonate with any of this. Is there a journey that you're on? Is there some inspiration you're taking from my journey? Is there something you're not doing that you really want to be doing? So much goodness, you know. So sending you all so much love, and I will be back next week. So today's Monday. I wonder if I should make Mondays my day. It might be Monday musings. I don't know. But anyway, all right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Now how do I shut this thing off? I did this last. Oh, there it is. Finish. Bye.